Well, thank you for joining us. I'm Philip Eitzen here. We're at the Big Ideas Summit in Chicago, and I'm here with Tom Derry, the CEO of the Institute for Supply Management. So, Tom, thank you very much for joining me.
It was my pleasure.
We just had the session with Nick Gowing, and Nick was talking a lot about really the change and disruption that we're facing and thinking the unthinkable. I'm really interested to know, what was your immediate reaction to Nick's conversation and his presentation?
Well, I made an immediate comment to Nick. I think he didn't go far enough. I think that we're facing more disruption and a faster pace of change than we're comfortable with. I think we've been talking about it actually collectively for a while now, and most of us are comfortable with the idea, but the implications are startling, and we need to move beyond this moment of awareness to more about what's our playbook now.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think that most organizations that you speak to are actually ready for the change and the disruption that may be coming our way because of a lot of these macroeconomic, geopolitical, factors? Are they ready for it?
No, not really. Most of us operate within the context or framework that we're familiar with. There have been established rules of the game, and we conduct ourselves according to the rules of the game. But when the rules get thrown out, right, then all of a sudden, how do we operate? Being comfortable with ambiguity is a rare skill, especially among executives. But I think in this time and right now, and where we are in this era, comfort with ambiguity, making decisions without all the data, making decisions knowing that there's inherent risk in there you can't control. I mean, that's what's going to set apart leaders from people who fail in the current environment.
So kind of encouraging people that maybe we don't have to wait for all the information that's available to us to make the best informed decisions that we can and to move as quickly as possible.
Well, there's the old idea of paralysis by analysis. There's the other saying that goes back to Plato about don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. We need to make decisions and move on. If we don't, our competitors will. And so being able to move and knowing that there's going to be times when we don't win and accepting that as the cost of being in the game, and having the opportunity to win, I think that's the reality we're in.
How do we take change and disruption and take that as an opportunity rather than fear it? Because I know that the natural human reaction is to oftentimes fear change, but doing so, you're more likely to be impacted than being able to drive the possibilities of the change itself.
There's always opportunity when there's inherent change and risk, and it's recognizing where that lies. Usually that's from a deep understanding of what creates value, and in a time of disruption, the source of value may have shifted, but the value is still there. You still have to go chase the value. I can give you practical, concrete examples during the great financial crisis of people who saw changes in commodity markets where assumptions about consumer demand drove down the prices of commodities on the spot market, and fast-acting people grabbed those commodities at the spot market price, knowing they had a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to capture value. I mean, that's a good example of how it happens.
Yeah, it's one of the interesting things that was mentioned, I think it was in Justin's conversation, was that it's having the structure to be prepared to move quickly. You can't necessarily plan for every single eventuality, but be prepared to be able to move quickly, if you will.
I think that's an excellent point. So we can't anticipate every scenario, but we can be ready for scenarios in the plural. Okay, and recognizing, all right, we're in one now. This wasn't on our list, but we've built up some skills and some reflexes, and let's put them into play. Yeah.
Well, Tom, thank you very much for joining me. We're going to be back, I think, in a couple of hours' time to reflect on the next couple of sessions. If you do have any feedback or comments, please feel free to comment. You can do that on Twitter using the hashtag BigIdea2017. Thanks for joining us.